For today's lesson, we are going to look at graphing equations part 1 and 2. So we're going to look at graphing equations in slope-intercept form and in standard form. All right, SOL A.6c, graph linear equations in two variables. Learning target, I can graph a linear equation in two variables, including those that arise from a variety of practical situations. Some vocabulary that we've seen before, standard form, slope-intercept form. Some vocabulary that is going to be new to us in this unit, parent function, reflection, and dilation, but that will come a bit later. All right, so before we get started into our lesson, let's do a review of some graphing vocabulary. This is vocabulary that you may have seen before in previous math classes, and some of it may be a little new to you. So the first thing we're going to do is looking at this grid here that is called the coordinate plane. All right. The next piece that we are going to look at are the quadrants. There are 4 quadrants going counterclockwise. So you have quadrant 1, where your x is positive and your y is positive as well. Then you have quadrant 2, where your x is negative and your y is positive. Then you have quadrant 3, where both your x and your y are negative. And you have quadrant 4, where your x is positive and your y is negative. All right, from there we're going to label the axes. All right, so we're going to have our y-axis, and our x-axis. All right, we know that when a line crosses the x-axis, that's an x-intercept. This will, all right. Then we also know, of course, when it intercepts the y-axis, it is a y-intercept. We have another example of an x-intercept. And a y-intercept. So anytime it crosses the y-axis, it is a y-intercept. Anytime it crosses the x-axis, it is an x-intercept. This is what we call a diagonal line. So we have been seeing that when we talk about slope. This is the diagonal line, which you all know that. We have our vertical line, and we know that vertical lines have a 0 slope and has the equation x equals vertical lines have undefined slope, I apologize, and have the equation x equals. Horizontal lines have a 0 slope and the equation y equals. We know that our center point is called the origin, which is the point 0, 0, where your x-intercept is 0 and your y-intercept, if you're graphing, is also 0. We also have a point. All right. So over here we have a ordered pair. Where the first one's always your x-coordinate and the second is always your y-coordinate. Okay. Continuing on with the vocabulary. All right. So the coordinate plane is formed by a horizontal number line called the x-axis. And sorry that these blinks are so small. And a vertical line called the y-axis. All right. Each point on the coordinate plane has an address called the ordered pair. All right. The point where the axes cross, is called the origin. Its coordinates are 0, 0. So the x coordinate 0 and the y coordinate 0. The x coordinate gives the location of the x-axis, and the y-coordinate, of course, gives a location on the y-axis. A linear equation, which is what we've been talking about, gives a location on the x-axis. A linear equation in two variables has an infinite number of solutions. Each solution can be represented by a point on the coordinate plane. Those points form a line called the graph. So remember, as we were talking about slope, I was distinguishing between the coordinate plane and the graph. So the graph is actually the line that you plot. The coordinate plane is your grid. All right, so now let's look at a few examples. So it says circle the ordered pairs that are solutions to the equation 2x plus y. So we know that we have an x and a y in a coordinate pair. We see that we have an x and a y here. So we're going to plug in 8 for x and plug in 2 for y. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 2 is 18. So 18 is not equal to 10. So 8, 2 is not a point. Plugging in 4. We see that if we plug in 4 for x and then plug in 2 for y, that we do get 10. So 4, 2 is a point. We have 8 and negative 6. So if we plug in 8 for x and negative 6 for y, we get that is equal to 10. Negative 2, negative 6 does not work. 5, 5 does not work. Plugging in 0 for x and plugging in 10 for y works. All right. 5, 0 works. 3.5 works, and 1, 2 does not. So all you're doing is evaluating the expression. So when x is equal to a certain number and y is equal to a certain number, do we get that number on the same spot or equal to? All right, now we're going to review plotting. So I'm going to plot the point 1, 2. So I'm going to start at 1 on my x-axis and go up 2. All right, 4, negative 2, I'm going to go to 4 on my x-axis and go down 2. 0 on my x-axis, and I'm going to go down negative 3. So I have a y-intercept there. All right, go over to negative 1 and then go up 3. All right, then I'm going to go over to negative 2 and go down 1. 2, and I'm going to stay on that line. That gives me an x-axis for 2, 0. I'm going to go over to 3 and then go down 3. And then go to 2.5 and go up 1. All right, now we're going to list or write the order pairs for each point. So we have A. Looking at point A, I get 0, 3. So you're looking at your x and moving on your y. For B, I get negative 2, 0. For C, I get 3, 4. D, negative 3, 1. 4, negative 3 for E. 0, negative 2 for F. 3, negative 3 for G. 1, negative 4. And 4, 0 for I. All right. Now it says, write the ordered pairs of the point found on the graph. All right, so we're going to look here. That perfectly crosses, that perfectly crosses, that perfectly crosses, perfectly crosses. So we have our first point is going to be negative 2, 2. our second point, 0, 1, third point, 2, 0, and then we have 4, 1. All right, those are all solutions. We know exactly what those numbers are, so those are all solutions to that linear equation. All right, so now we're going to look at graphing. All right, so now that we've looked at the vocabulary, we are going to look at graphing linear equations. All right, so the steps for graphing. So the first thing we want to do is make sure that it's in slope-intercept form. So put the equation in y equals mx plus b form, which is slope-intercept form. The next step, you're going to plot your y-intercept. Then use the slope to create more points. And then step 4, connect into a line. All right, so for the first one, we have that y is equal to 3x plus 4, so we can see that this is in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to identify my slope of 3 and my y-intercept of 4. So the first thing I'm going to do is plot my y-intercept of 4 because I know exactly where that is. So remember when we talk about slope, slope is always rise over run, so your y value over your x value. Here we see that my slope is 3. Remember, all whole numbers or fractions are just over 1, so I'm going to put 3 over 1 so I can have that rise over run. So starting at my y-intercept, I see that I can't rise anymore, so I'm going to do the opposite. So the opposite would be to go down 3 and to the left 1. All right, because I want to create a positive line. All right, so I'm going to go down 3. So I'm going to go down 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go to the right, to the left 1. All right, I'm going to plot the point, and you'll see in just a second once I connect lines why I have to do the opposite. So I'm going to go down 3 again, and then to the right 1, down 3, and to the right 1. All right, so you'll see that when I connect my lines, that my graph is increasing from left to right because my slope has to be positive because my slope is a positive 3. All right, looking at the next example, my slope is 1/2. My y-intercept is 3. So I'm going to start at 3. All right, so I'm going to rise 1 and go to the right 2 because my slope is 1 over 2. To finish off the graph, I have to do the opposite. So I'm going to go down 1 and to the left 2. So remember, going down and to the left is negative. So that's having negative 1 over negative 2, which is a positive 1/2. So again, I'm going to go down 1 and to the left 2. And you see that I have a positive slope. Okay? Now I want you to pause the video and try 3 and 4 on your own, and come back and check the video just to see if you have an understanding of how to do it. All right, so let's look here. So I can know that I have a slope of 4, which I'm going to put over 1 to make a fraction. What is going to be my y-intercept here? My y-intercept is going to be 0. So remember when we write equations, 4x plus 0 just simply gives you 4x. So this means that my y-intercept is the origin. So I'm going to start at the origin. Here I'm going to do it without the lines like I did in the previous one. So I'm going to go up 4 over 1. Then to finish out the rest of the graph, I'm going to go down 4 and go over 1. And then double check that my line matches my slope. My slope is positive, therefore my line has to increase. All right. For number 4, I have the slope of -1 over -1. Ooh, excuse me. -1 over 1. Excuse me. Oops, where's my eraser? Oops, that's my eraser. Let's try that again. So I have -1, and then my b is -1. So I'm going to put my slope over 1 because, again, I have type of fraction. So I'm going to start at my y-intercept of -1. I'm going to go down 1 and to the right 1 because I want my line to decrease. Down 1 to the right 1. All right, to change it, I'm going to go up 1 and to the left 1. All right, so it's still giving me that negative. As you can see, my line is decreasing, just like my slope. My lines are not perfect, so I apologize about that. Trying to make them as perfect as possible. All right, so this concludes part 1 of graphing in slope-intercept form. Now I want you to summarize what you learned from today's lesson.